What's up, everybody? Toro Barshoma. Hello. Welcome. So I'll talk more about this at the end of the video. I want to listen to the song first. I have listened to this one. I listened to it yesterday. I was on Twitter yesterday, and I follow a 021 kid. And I saw that he was talking about some stuff, and I wasn't really sure what all was going on. But he seemed to be animated, let's say, right? Serious. And so I went and did a little bit of looking, and I checked out this song. And it seems like the current state of things in Iran is tense. And so I wanted to do this. I want to talk about it a little bit. I understand, I'm not from there. There are things that I'm not going to understand. There's stuff that I can't appreciate. But I do think that I am largely in agreement with what a lot of people are thinking right now. So let's listen to the song first, and then we'll talk about it. So before I get into it, I'm not an expert. I don't speak Farsi, although this song is in English. And that was on purpose. He mentioned that. So this one's on purpose, so that's not too terrible. I can understand all the words. But I'm not a vocal coach. I'm not a professional music reviewer or anything like that. Just vibes here, all right? Oh, I got my coffee. Just in case you guys were wondering, I do have my coffee. Also, don't be a dick. That's my number one rule. It's okay if you don't like me. It's okay if you don't like this song. It's okay if you disagree with me. And I don't know. The audience for this song probably is going to generally agree with what I have to say. But if you disagree with it, I understand. I was raised deeply, deeply conservative, deeply religious. So I understand having some deeply held convictions. But I would just ask that you be respectful. As a Christian, right, what I was taught was you're supposed to speak the truth, but with love. And if you can't be loving about it, then you shouldn't say it. So that's all I would ask. Let's just try to keep it respectful, okay? And then with that out of the way, let's get right into it. This is Persian XXL by 021 Kid, and this is from 2020.
021 Kid on a beat, make it lit. Yeah. Yeah, I'm Persian but not like government. Fuck them politics, all these ayatollahs are sons of bitch. I can't be positive at, surround with a lot of shit. One for Khomeini grave and one for Khamenei. One more time, I'm Persian but not like government. Fuck them politics, all these ayatollahs are sons of bitch. I can't be positive at, surround with a lot of shit. One for Khomeini grave and one for Khamenei. Being in Iran is like, what the fuck is going on? Say you want some freedom, huh? Bunch of cops coming on. Casanova said he's so Brooklyn, then I'm so Iran. Authorities shooting at us out here with Tommy gun. All of them gangbangs, running from Popo. My people influence, fucking with a Popo. Real bullets, real blood, real bodies, no joke. Religious like to teach little boys no homo. They got money for terrorists, nothing for building. Why whoever is in this regime got a dick face? Flight number 752 was a mistake. Hell no, your dad didn't wear a condom, was a mistake, bitch. I'm Persian but not like government. Fuck them politics, all these ayatollahs are sons of bitch. I can't be positive, I surround with a lot of shit. One for Khomeini grave and one for Khamenei. One more time, I'm Persian but not like government. Fuck them politics, all these ayatollahs are sons of bitch. I can't be positive, I surround with a lot of shit. One for Khomeini grave and one for Khamenei. Let's go. Late October to November, shut down the internet, killing protesters and said nobody innocent. Got no value in your own country as a citizen. Penetrating your rights then make you immigrate. Not even a goddamn penny share of oil. Stole money from my pocket for Syria to spoil. Don't wonder how fancy they are in Dubai on your phone. President worried about the hijab, cities on the stone. 45% of people suffering from real misery. We were richest back in time, 2000 and half history. Once again, we could be, stay together, hit the street, fuck these Jews up, straight to the victory. I'm Persian but not like government. Fuck them politics, all these ayatollahs are sons of bitch. I can't be positive, I surround with a lot of shit. One for Khomeini grave and one for Khamenei. One more time. I'm Persian but not like government. Fucked in politics, all these ayatollahs the sons of bitch. I can't be positive, I surround with a lot of shit. One for Khomeini grave and one for Khamenei.
Hamas, Moleman.
All right, so a couple of thoughts. First of all, there is a little bit in there that's in Farsi that I don't understand. It might be taken from a radio or a sermon. What do you call a sermon in Islam? I don't know. You know, when maybe it's the same thing. I don't know. But anyway, I don't know what that means, right? I can't understand it, but I can't even really pick it up. So if somebody would be willing to let me know what that was, you don't have to necessarily translate it word for word, but just like a gist of what the voice was saying, that would be interesting. So I really like this song. This beat is great. I really like 021 Kid. I'm a fan, so you know I enjoy this. But I saw him post this yesterday or reference it, and you know I wanted to go look into it and see why he was talking about it. And what I discovered, and I don't know how widespread this is right now. This may be just a one-off, but based on what I've heard from the people who are, you know, in my comments on these videos, it doesn't seem like it's isolated. There was a woman who did not wear hijab and was beaten by morality police. This is my understanding of the situation. All right, she was beaten by morality police and ended up dying in the hospital because of her decision to not wear hijab. And people are mad. There seems to be a serious reaction to that. And look, I'm sitting here in the United States. You know, our laws are not the same. Although we are run largely by right-wing religious folks in the U.S., by the fringe conservative minority of religious types in our country. Our laws, at least, for the most part, are fairly secular in nature, right? They were made for everybody, not just made for the people who follow a certain religion. That's not the case in Iran. And I think a lot of people wish that would change. I can't speak to that because there are a lot of people, look, like I mentioned at the beginning, I grew up deeply religious, very, very conservative. For those of you who don't know a lot about Christianity, I don't know, right? In the West, you know, I like to think I know more about Islam than a lot of people, but we aren't taught that much. And for most people, the regrettable last 20 years are generally color people's perception. But just to say, in the U.S., we have Christian fundamentalists who are conservative on the same level that Shia Muslims would be conservative, to the point of head coverings. We don't do the face coverings. I don't know any Christian groups that do face coverings, but there are a lot that do head coverings, and you know, modest dress. So you don't do hijab or niqab, right? You don't do the full black on black, but long skirts to the floor, right? So you don't show any ankle. So full covering of your skin, right? It is the same. It's the theology behind it is a little bit different, right? Christian versus Muslim. You know, some of the same characters overlap in our religions, but obviously different interpretations. But the modesty culture is the same. Over here, that's looked at as maybe noble, maybe something that's worth, you know, giving them a little bit of applause for being willing to be so serious about their convictions. But it's not a law. There's no law that says you have to wear a head covering in public, or you bring shame upon your family or your head or whatever. And I know that's not the case in Iran. And I know that there are a lot of people, let's say our age, the younger generations, who would like to see it change. There are a lot of people who want to wear hijab, right? They want to be modest. They want to embrace that part of their religion. And they also believe that they shouldn't be forced to, or that people around them shouldn't be forced to, right? I want to be modest. I want to follow what I believe is the, God's law for me, Allah, right? But I don't know that the person next to me should have to do that, at least not by the government. I don't think that that should be enforced by the government. And there's a lot of tension. And Iran has been under sanctions from the West for a long time. So there's also poverty. There's money issues, right? People are poor and hungry. And there was flooding not too long ago. And now you have this, and there's a lot of unrest. And unrest can be very productive. It can be. It can also be very destructive. I tried to be somebody who understands that different people have different ways of living. And I think that that's fine. I don't think that one way of living has to be enforced over another way. But I also am a big fan of personal freedom and liberty to, right? I know that sounds very American, right? Liberty, blah, blah. I want people to be able to make decisions for themselves. I want people to have the freedom to do that. And if the government is telling you what you can and can't wear, you don't have that freedom. You don't get to make that choice. I know that there is a fair amount of dislike of the religious leaders of the country. I'm sure there's probably a lot of people who love the religious leaders of the country, right? The people that I'm hearing understand. The people that are in my comments are the people who like rap music, right? And rap music is like semi-illegal in Iran. So if you are over here listening to Persian rap, there's a good chance you disagree with the way the government is set up, right? Because otherwise, you wouldn't be listening to Persian rap. So I by no means think that I can speak for everybody when I say they want these religious leaders out, because a lot of people don't. But my hope is that there will be change. My hope is that there will be change that will be positive and that will be, it will make the world safer for people, for Iranians. I want to say that correctly, for Persians, let's say. Because right now I don't think that there is a lot of that. I feel like there's a pretty serious distrust of the government. And when you see women beaten to death for not following the laws of modesty or the morality laws, it's heartbreaking. It's really sad. You can't legislate morality. This is a thing that anybody who has studied the Old Testament, the New Testament, the Torah, the Quran, anybody who has studied these books knows you cannot legislate morality. You can make being immoral against the law, or being immoral, right? You can make things that are considered immoral against the law. But that doesn't mean that people aren't going to do them, and it doesn't mean that people are going to believe that they're wrong. For a long time in this country, it was immoral for a black person and a white person to have a baby together. But people still did it, even when it was against the law. Because you can't stop that. You can make it illegal. You can punish people for doing it, but you can't change it. And that's why making laws based on religion, no matter how deeply you believe in your religion, making laws based on that religious morality is going to be a problem, because you cannot make people be moral. whatever you consider to be moral. You can make what they do illegal, but you can't make them be moral by making it against the law. I'm ranting a little bit, but I feel strongly about this. My thoughts are with the people of Iran right now. Like, look, my country is, we've contributed. We've contributed to the problems over there. We've contributed to the political instability, both externally and by being sneaky, like what we did in 1954, right? We overthrew the elected leader of Iran in the 50s. Like, we've been meddling for a long time. But this isn't just us, right? This isn't just a U.S. thing. We're not, as far as I know, we're not driving people to, reject their traditional religion. Anyway, it's very sad. At the end of the day, it's very sad. People are going to be hurt by this. Mostly it's going to be poor, people who can't fight back. Those tend to be the ones that get hurt. And maybe nothing will change. Maybe you'll just see some protesting, some deaths, some violence, and things will remain the same. And I hope not, because I don't like to see people live in subjection to that kind of thing. Anyway, I know this is kind of long and very serious. I don't always get this serious in my videos. And I understand there may be some people who strongly disagree with me. And that is your right. You're welcome to disagree with me. I don't know as much about the culture, the traditions, the religion, the way the laws are implemented. I don't know enough about that to consider myself an authority. So I'm speaking just what I know based on what I have seen, what I have read in the news. And so it's possible that there are things that I don't understand. And for that, I beg mercy for the things that I maybe don't fully know. But I felt like I wanted to talk about this. And, I just want people to have the freedom to live their lives how they want, whether that's religiously or otherwise. That'll do it for this one, I think. I've gotten too serious. I've gotten a little bit long-winded. Thank you all for watching. I'm trying to remember. I almost remember that phrase. Mamnoon video didin, something like that. I could look it up. I have it. Somebody put it in a comment. But thank you for watching my video. Have a good day, everybody. As good as you can. Stay safe out there. That's maybe a little bit more relevant than normal, depending on where you're watching this from. Drink lots of water. And don't talk to cops.